Hello, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to give you one tip for a much faster serve. When you lift your racket up, lead with the back of the hand, not with the racket itself. What I mean by this is you want your wrist in flexion, not extension. Have your wrist in flexion, simply meaning there's a little curl in the wrist. As you bring the racket up, have your wrist in that curled position. And then as the racket comes in to knock off the birthday hat, that's when the wrist extension occurs. I see a lot of players and they toss. I just had a lesson with someone on court yesterday and they were doing this. As soon as they tossed, he did this. He tossed, and then as he tossed, he immediately flexed his wrist back. And that led to him going palm up, and it led to him not being able to really make the whippy loose circle that you need in order to knock off a birthday hat. In fact, check out this video of me serving. Notice as I'm lifting the racket, right here, my wrist is curled over, where the tip of my racket is below my hand. But my hand is around neck level, right? So my wrist is curled over. Now watch this. My racket now starts to come in over my head. And now, watch the wrist position. Now it's an extension. So if I go back to that original point, I'm in wrist flexion. And as I knock the birthday hat off, I let the wrist go, and now my wrist is an extension. See, if you bring the racket up in a flexed position, you can then use that as a whip to really snap the racket around your head and knock off the birthday hat. You know I'm a big fan of this. I love it in the comments. Everyone says, oh, I thought I was going to get a serve video without the birthday hat, and then right at the end, he brought it out. You know I'm going to be bringing this thing out. Come on now. Don't be silly. So when I bring the racket up, the wrist is curled over, and then as I come in over my head, that's when I'm going to make this move. And it goes from flexion to extension. That's the move that I'm going to use to knock off the birthday hat. Now the wrist is in slight extension, where here it's in flexion. So learn and practice this. Toss the ball, and as you bring the arm up, we call it like the goose or the dinosaur to the kids, like have the wrist curled over. Then use this movement where you bring the racket in over your head very fast to knock off the birthday hat. Bring your racket up leading with the wrist, knock off the birthday hat from this curled over position, and when you do, there is no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.